welcome to All Faiths Sunday service. It is Sunday, April 17th. I have a couple of announcements this morning. If you are missing the ACMA concerts that were held in our sanctuary, you can now virtually join the concerts, so please watch the email and Facebook posting from the congregation that tells you how to do that. If you were trying to join News Talk this morning at 9 o'clock, there were some technical difficulties on the part of Zoom, but we were able to get back up and running about 9:15. So we're hoping that next Sunday we won't have those problems. And News Talk begins at 9 a.m. every Sunday. At All Faiths, we want you to know that no matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are always welcome here. Please join in singing, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Please join in the chalice lighting words that are printed in your order of service. For all the times and all the ways we have begun anew, together we light this chalice. When we are gathered, we share joys and sorrows that we have felt with the congregation. As we live in diaspora, we continue this practice. I have a couple of joys and sorrows this morning. Nancy Patone's husband, who I mentioned last week was in the ICU, is now home recovering. Robert Bennett is hospitalized at Lee Memorial with trouble with his kidney, so please keep him in your thoughts. Let us join in a few moments of silence. We gather together in different ways this morning, from computer screens, from telephones, and we gather reaching out across the wires, waving from a safe distance to come together in religious community. From living room or maybe your front porch, we gather as we are able, ready to be of service to each other, to the world, to build the community of hope and of love as we face this bright morning. We are apart, but we are together, offering our love, our commitment, our hope in service to one another and to this world. It's a new way, but an old way that we come together this morning. It is good to be together.
I've made up my mind, don't need to think it over. If I'm wrong, I am right. Don't need to look no further, this ain't lies. I know this is love, love. If I tell the world, I'll never say enough, 'cause it was not said to you, and that's exactly what I need to do. If I am in love with you, should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Or would it be a waste, even if I knew my place? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? I build myself up and fly around in circles, waiting as my heart drops and my back begins to tingle finally. Could this be it? Or should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Or would it be a waste, even if I knew my place? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Or would it be a waste, even if I knew my place? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep on chasing pavements? Should I just keep on chasing pavements? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere?
Our reading this morning is titled Wise Words from Winnie the Pooh by youth writer Amanda Schwaben. As I read through Nancy Hill's article, 3 Things That Matter Most in Youth and Older Adults, I was comforted by the similar responses given by children and older adults, and the emphasis participants placed on family, social connections, and love was not only heartwarming, but hopeful. While the messages in this article filled me with warmth, I felt a twinge of guilt building within me. As a 21-year-old college student, I wasn't really thinking about the most important things in life. But if I was asked, I would most likely say friendship, family, and love. And as much as I hate to admit it, I often find myself obsessing over achieving a successful career and finding a way to save the world. A few weeks ago, I was at my family home watching the new Winnie the Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, with my mom and younger sister. But I wasn't really watching. I had a laptop in front of me, and I was aggressively typing up an assignment. And halfway through the movie, I realized I left my laptop charger in the car. So I walked outside into the brisk March air. Instinctively, I looked up. The sky was perfectly clear, revealing a beautiful array of stars. And when my twin sister and I were in high school, we would always take a moment to look up at the sparkling night sky before we came into the house and soccer practice. I think that was the last time I stood in my driveway and gazed at the stars. I did get my laptop charger from my car, and I turned around and went back inside, and I shut my laptop and watched the rest of the movie. My twin sister loves Winnie the Pooh, so much so that my parents got her a stuffed animal version for her for Christmas. And while I thought he was adorable and a token of my childhood, I did not really understand her obsession. However, it was clear to me after watching the movie, Winnie the Pooh certainly had it figured out. He believed that the simple things in life were the most important: love, friendship, and fun. I thought about asking my mom right then what the three most important things were to her, but I decided not to. I just wanted to be in the moment. I didn't want to be doing my homework. It was a beautiful thing to just sit there and be present with my mom and sister. I did ask her, though, a couple of weeks later. Her response was simple. All she said was family, health, and happiness. When she told me this, I imagined Winnie the Pooh smiling, and I think he would have been proud of that answer. I was not surprised by my mom's reply. It suited her perfectly. I wonder if we relearn what is most important when we grow older, that the pressure to be successful subsides. Could it be that valuing family, health, and happiness is what ends up saving the world? And so ends the reading. Please join in singing hymn number 6, Just As Long As I Have Breath. The lyrics are at the bottom of your order of service.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I make my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said
Are you a bird dog? Are you trained for bird dogging? There are a few meanings of the term bird dogging, and perhaps the most familiar is the noun bird dog, referring to canines who are trained to smell, pursue, and point fowl to hunters. When I asked you those questions, if you were a bird dog or if you were trained for bird dogging, I was using bird dog as a verb, meaning to doggedly seek out something, or something to hound, or to pursue something. Yes, bird dogging is a human behavior. Now think of the people in your circle. Do any of them chase after something with relentless determination? Do any of them, as they say, beat a dead horse over and over and over? Perhaps you are the one in your circle that is a bird dog and hounds something or someone unable to stop the pursuit. Congregations are full of bird dogs. And many of us in this congregation are in pursuit of justice, whether it be finding justice for people experiencing homelessness, justice for people of color, the hungry, the poor, the marginalized. We are bird dogs and we refuse to turn away from our pursuit. Then there are bird dogs in the congregation that get an idea or a felt need, not a real need, a felt need, and are relentless in pursuing and serving that idea or that felt need. I remember serving a congregation where I had to manage a bird dog. This congregant believed that Unitarian Universalists believed nothing and wanted to paint the sanctuary walls with the solar system. And week after week, I fielded phone calls and emails from him, and he was relentless. He truly believed in his idea and his pursuit of making it happen. And by the way, sanctuary walls will never have the solar system painted on them on my watch. And his bird dogging strained our relationship, his confidence in me, and confidence in the congregation, and he eventually resigned his membership. A negative consequence of bird dogging. Living in a pandemic has taught us a few truths. We are realizing we might be wasting a lot of time and our energy on the wrong things. The only things you should chase in your life, according to me, are cakes and puppies. Or that might just be me. But there are a few other things that are worth our while too. Whenever we chase after something, we take ourselves out of the present moment and life actually happens. The future doesn't exist yet, and the past is gone, and the only meaningful place to live is in the now, and that's generally where you'll find what you're looking for. Others may say you should be chasing other things to be happy and successful. They tell us that we should be chasing the dream, not chasing your dream, but the dream they think you should be chasing. And I found that most people don't get what they want in life because they're playing out someone else's idea of who they should be. Benjamin Franklin wrote, "In this world nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." We all chase security. The problem with chasing security is that there is no such thing. And if you trade your soul for it, you pay a big price. I have a friend who's buying a house with a woman he doesn't love, who treats him badly for security's sake. Another friend is applying for work way beneath her potential to collect a steady paycheck, even though the last time she did so, it made her sick and it took her out of a job. The truth is that fear of change and staying in our comfort zones stunts our growth, yet we chase it. Author Colin Wright once wrote, "Chase your passions and money will come. Chase money and you may never find your passions." We all need to make ends meet, but beyond that, chasing the green stuff doesn't make us happier. Money doesn't make us happier. Research by the Nobel laureate psychologist, economist Daniel Kahneman and Princeton economist Angus Deaton found that happiness maxes out around $75,000 in the United States. Additional studies reveal that people are happier when they spend their money on other people rather than only themselves. Some of us chase after material things. Many think we'll be happy if we live in a big house, wear brand name clothes, drive a new car, stuff our closet full of shoes. That's me. But that's simply chasing things to fill the hole in your soul. No pun intended. Research shows that we're happy when we spend money on positive experiences like vacations rather than material things. So the next time you feel like redecorating or upgrading your car, think about flying to France or taking an affordable road trip instead. We'll be able to do that again someday. Some of us chase work. Socrates wrote, "Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Beware the barrenness of a busy life." Americans put in the longest work hours and get the shortest paid vacation time in the developed world. Those of us lucky enough to have jobs have added another day to our work week because we now check work emails, texts, and calls from home. And it's no wonder we try to stuff everything we can't do at work into our off hours. Even though it's countercultural, research shows that taking breaks leads to greater productivity than putting in long hours, and you come back refreshed and able to do more in less time, increasing your efficiency when you give yourself a chance to recharge. Some of us chase approval. Chasing people's approval is a waste of time and effort. What we should be chasing is our own approval. There's nothing wrong with us. Some folks love you just the way you are, and some folks don't. That's the way it falls. The wonderful side effect of self-acceptance is that those little things you want to improve about yourself tend to right themselves effortlessly. Self-hate keeps you stuck, and self-acceptance heals. Some of us chase people. If you have to work hard to keep an acquaintance or friend in your life, it's probably best to let that person go. Not all relationships are healthy, and we need to learn the difference. And George Simon, author of In Sheep's Clothing, tells us to beware of people who try to control you, stroke your ego, or to get what they want. They tell lies, they ignore you, make you feel guilty, put you down, play the victim, or cause you to doubt yourself. These energy vampires leave you feeling drained. And if you take an honest assessment of your current friendships and family members, chances are you'll find one or two there. Rather than chasing them to make the relationship work, distance yourself. And that should be no problem these days, and you have a real explanation. Some of us chase happiness. According to Tal Ben-Shahar, author of Happier, chasing happiness by working hard for the rewards that come tomorrow does not make people happy. Nor does engaging in momentary hedonistic pleasures without the thought of the consequences. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice, and to find it, do what brings you pleasure in the moment and helps you reach meaningful goals in the future. Some chase only what seems possible. We chase after what seems possible instead of what we're really capable of doing because our aspirations are too limited. Don't be too quick to mentally figure out how you follow your dreams. If the answer falls outside the range of what seems possible, the route you may choose actually holds you back from getting the best life you can have. Slow down, and every step you take provides another piece of the puzzle until the big picture eventually snaps into focus. I found that it's easy to get caught up in nonsense and distracted by the drama of life, and you'll fall down while going after someone else's goals or give everything to a love story that just wasn't meant to be. And we waste our time and energy on what never deserved it in the first place. We waste our time and energy on what never deserved it in the first place. So put your focus on chasing what really matters. Chase whatever makes you happy in this world. Maybe you love traveling or just snuggling up on the couch and watching endless episodes of Netflix. You get excited by freshly picked flowers or the smell of coffee in the morning. Surround yourself with these things as much as possible, and you'll live a meaningful life. Remember, you create your own happiness. You create your own happiness, and it doesn't just fall in your lap. Chase alone time. Spending time alone is key. This also won't be hard these days. You learn a lot about yourself in this process of being alone. Learn to chase after the times spent in solitude. And sometimes peace and quiet can be refreshing and remind you of what really matters. Remind you of what really matters in your life. And ask yourself, what are your priorities? Are you doing this for you or someone else? Ask yourself these questions. Chase that feeling of courage in your life, because it doesn't always come around. Sometimes we really let our fears get in the way, and we forget that we're capable of turning our dreams into reality and taking that leap of faith. But other times we get a little spark in our soul, and truth is, you'll never feel entirely ready. So take those moments of courage and run with them. That's the only way you'll get to where you're trying to go. Facing your fears, facing our fears, can feel scary at times, but it will be so rewarding in the long run. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should befriend a bunch of spiders, Carol Elrod, but if you're afraid to say, "I love you," or dancing in public, then please give yourself a try. These kind of fears are healthy to chase because they're not harmful. You'll grow as a person and will be more ready to take on the next adventure. And so I ask you, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There are going to be conversations in your life that you wish you didn't have to have. You're going to want to run in the other direction when you and your friend are having your first fight, or maybe choose to grin and bear it. In these moments, chase after what feels tough and uncomfortable, because it will likely lead to a better outcome. Now, you don't want to cause unnecessary drama, but if there's a situation that needs to be solved, then face it head on. Be respectful and understanding while speaking your mind. Chase after things that make you feel alive. This may be your passions, the people in your life who constantly inspire you, or the music that makes you want to dance. These things make you love your life and realize that living is always better. Living is always better than simply existing. Right now, you're settling for drama and nonsense that's weighing you down, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Focus your time and your energy on the things in life that truly matter. Someone asked me the other day if there's a silver lining to all of this that we are presently experiencing. And I was able to answer, yes, there is, instantly. We are learning many truths during our time in isolation. We now know what is meaningful and what is not. We now know the power of human relationships and human touch. We now know what we just might be able to do something for our environment. We now know that we need and what we need and don't need to truly feel alive. We now know that we can eat our weight in groceries each week. We now know that we can binge watch 4 to 5 series on Netflix each week. We now know that we can finish jigsaw puzzles in record time. And so let us take the time to figure out what is worth chasing, what is meaningful, and what brings us genuine happiness. When we are on the other side of this pandemic, we will be changed. Then we shall live in a way that makes us whole. May it be so. No worries, we haven't forgotten about our offertory joke. But before I tell you the joke, I want to say that I am so grateful for the generosity of our congregation. Thank you. In a convent in Ireland, the 99-year-old Mother Superior lay quietly. She was dying. The nuns had gathered around her bed, laying garlands around her and trying to make her last journey comfortable. And they wanted to give her warm milk, but she declined. And one of the nuns took the glass back to the kitchen, and then remembering a bottle of Irish whiskey that had been received as a gift the previous Christmas, she opened it and poured a generous amount into the warm milk. Back at Mother Superior's bed, they lifted her head gently and held the glass to her lips. The very frail nun drank a little, then a little more, and before they knew it, she had finished the whole glass down to the last drop. And as her eyes brightened, the nuns thought it would be a good opportunity to have one last talk with their spiritual leader. Mother, the nuns asked earnestly, please give us some of your wisdom before you leave us. And she raised herself up very slowly in the bed on one elbow, looked at them and said, don't sell that cow. Laughter. Pause for laughter. And now our closing words. As we enter another week of uncertainty in the world, let us remember that there is only one side, that of humanity and of planet Earth. May we pray for peace. May we remember to take good care of ourselves, each other, and those we love. Blessed be.
wished for an endless night. I saw the moon and the stars and pulled that rope tight. Have you ever held your breath and asked yourself, will it ever get better than tonight?
Please join in the words printed in your order of service as I extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.